everyone. Hope you're okay. Hope you're fine. Good better. Yeah. Hope you're okay. I'll lower my volume now just a bit. Definitely thank you all for tuning in. It's been a good day and I hope you are. It's good to see you guys. And I hope everything is fine. I hope everything is okay. I am right here in a minute. Don't worry. I'll be right here in a second. Going once, going twice. We're talking about finance tonight, about business and money. Money, 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 and how you can get money for your business or for your venture. If you are an investor, if you're looking for finance and much more, tonight is going to give you some tips on how you can find money for yourself or for your business. Money, 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 money. Yeah, so tonight is about business, getting that cash flow, the money you need to start your business or to improve, or if you want to buy a business. Yeah, they say cash is king, so talking about the cash flow. We are talking about the cash flow, ain't we? So definitely it is good to be here. You'll be seeing me here live. So hope you're okay, and I hope you had a lovely day so far. I hope it's been a good day for you. Excuse me. Money, finance, business, creative finance, debt, personal debt, commercial, banks, loans, currency, all this is what, well, we ideally want to have to build our business. They say cash is king. I agree. You need the cash flow of the business into your accounts, into for your investors, your stakeholders, your debts, your assets, and much more. So if you are wanting to begin a business, people say, I haven't got money, Josh. Like, well, I don't think money is the one thing to be worried about if you're starting a business. But if you want to know more, definitely call me and I will tell you. So yeah, definitely. Let me see if I see my video. Is my video coming on live? Here we are. Don't know why it's not coming up. So if you go to Google, you will see many options here. So what is finance? Finance is a term for matters regarding the management, creation and study of money and investments. Finance is a term for matters regarding the management, creation and study of money and investments. It involves the use of credit and debt securities, and investments to finance current projects using future income flows. So finance involves the use of credit and debt. It involves the use of securities and investment to finance current projects using future income flows. Don't know why my screen is it should be quite brighter than this. I do apologize. What is wrong? Is it the page itself? No, right. Must be the page. But yeah, so definitely so in summary, finance is a term for matters regarding the management, creation and study of money and investments. Finance involves the use of credit and debt, securities, and investment to finance current projects using future income flows. I'll leave it there for you right now. What's wrong with the page? Don't know why. So, finance can be broadly divided into three categories. You've got public finance, you've got corporate finance, and you've got personal finance. Yes, there are many ways you get money, but in general terms, they are set in just three categories: public finance, there's corporate finance, and then there's personal finance. Yeah. So more recent subcategories of finance include social finance and behavioral finance. So let me refresh my page. I don't know why it's not showing. But if you go to Google, types of financing available. So we have public finance, we got corporate finance, and we got personal finance. So out of those categories, you can add in other methods. So we've got venture capital, equity crowdfunding, credit lines, angel investors, invoice financing, friends and family, term loan, bank loans, grant. We've got equity financing, microfinance, incubators and accelerators, overdrafts, pre-sales, private equity, trade credit, corporate finance, hire purchase, personal finance, initial public offering, merchant cash advance, mezzanine financing, or mezzanine, and you've got public finance. So all these are finances. I'm using Google, so you can look up for yourself and see. And this is Investopedia. Oh, there we are. So to understand finance, it's good to have a brief view. So finance is the term for matters regarding the management, creation, and study of money and investments. Yes, so finance involves the use of credit and debt, securities, and investment to finance your current projects using future income flows. And that is finance. So broadly, it's set into three categories: public, corporate, and personal. So in broad terms, but they are, as you see from Google, they are much more right here. You go here, how many? 14 or a couple more. Yes, so some you might be aware of, some you might not be aware of. The ones we are used to are bank loans and grants. Well, bank loans is the most common way of getting finances. But as you go high into business, you can get more into venture capital, angel investors, invoice financing. You get friends and family too is one of the most common. These two, friends and family and bank. Credit lines, if you got good credit, equity financing, overdrafts, that's the bank as well. You got pre-sales as well, private equity. So most billionaires and millionaires are into private equity. Corporate finance, hire purchase, personal finance, public finance, and much more. So these are types of finances that you are going to find. Okay. So finance is a term broadly describing the study and system of money, investments, and other financial instruments. Yeah, if you go on the page, this is from investopedia.com. So the key finance terms that we should be familiar with is an asset. Are these? Asset, number one, asset. So an asset is something of value, such as cash, real estate, or property. A business may have current assets or fixed assets. So an asset is something which generates money for you, brings in the money. That's your asset, yes? It has value and it creates, it brings money or it creates value. Liability is a financial obligation such as debt. Liabilities can be current or long term. So liabilities are things which, in simple terms, they take money out. The debts are expenses, not expenses, but something which draws money out of your business. So that's a liability. It's always sort of it's opposite of a liability. It's also of an asset. What am I saying? So a liability is what takes money away from you, in simple terms. So a debt, something you owe, you're giving money out. That's a liability. Yes, but an asset is something which brings the money in, something of value. So you've got real estate and you've got tenants coming in, paying rent, or that's as an asset. Property can be, but if you're not earning money on it, then it's a liability. As the rich dad Potter said, owning a house is not an asset, it's a liability because you're paying every month for it. But if you get tenants inside and they give you some cash flow which is above the expenses, then and you're in profit, then it's an asset. Something as owning a car. A car, in general terms, is not an asset unless it's making money. But if you're not, it's a liability because you have to pay for insurance and for maintenance and much more. So it's not really classed as an asset unless it's generating money, for the business. So if you have like a tractor or a bus or, or one of those which is a coach which is generating money, even that becomes an asset. So asset brings money in. Liability, money goes out in simple terms. But in financial terms, an asset is something of value. A liability is a financial obligation such as debt. Then you must have your balance sheet. So balance sheet is a document that shows a company's assets and its liabilities. So you subtract the liabilities from the assets to see the firm's net worth. So you take away your expenses from your income, and that's your net worth. For you as an individual, look at how much you make per month and how much it goes out. Then you minus that. The difference is how much you are worth or how much you keep per month. Yes? That's for your balance sheet. It shows the assets and the liabilities, what brings in money and what takes out money. So cash flow is the movement of money into and out of a business or household. So in and out, what's coming in, what's going out. Which asset is bringing money, which liability is taking out money. The cash flow, that is the movement of money into and out of a business. So they say if you're buying a business, always look at the cash flow. Not the profit, but the cash flow. Yes, always check the cash flow to see if there's enough cash coming in. Not profit, but always check out the cash flow. Now one is compound interest. But one thing I want to ask is equity. So equity means ownership. Stocks are called equities. Equity because each share represents a portion of ownership. Equity is how much money you have in the business. Sometimes if you take away the liabilities from the assets, then the equity is what you have left, isn't it? So assets equals liabilities plus equity. Yes, so equity is when you take away the liabilities from the assets. So how much money you got left to use or to spare or to invest. That is your equity in your business. Your net worth, how much you have in there. Yeah. Liquidity refers to how easily an asset can be converted into cash. So if you've got a car, can you sell it? You've got a building, can you sell it? Or not, then no. For example, real estate is not a very liquid investment because you can take weeks or months to sell. So things like computers or phones, cars, those should be easy to sell. So you can convert them into cash if need be. So that's liquidity. When profit is the money left over after expenses. So a profit and loss statement shows how much a business has earned or lost for a particular period. So those are the basic terms, but they're much more. If you learn your assets, what brings money in, what can bring money for you. Liability, what takes money out. An example of asset is if you've got a house and you've got tenants, then it's an asset. you have no tenants and you're still paying rent and mortgage for it, then it's a liability. If you've got a car and using it as a taxi or people hiring it and it's bringing in money, then it's an asset. If you're paying insurance per month plus maintenance, it's a liability because it's taking money out of your pocket. If you got a house and you're renting and the money is more than the mortgage and on the bills and you have something over, that's an asset. You're taking an asset. So assets are things of value, cash, real estate, property. Yeah, those are assets. So the key is you want to acquire assets, things which give you money, produce money. Yes, if you are looking to start a business, the key is to look for something which brings you money. Yeah, are we together? So you want to get assets. For those who some say it's a job an asset. Well, I wouldn't say that. It brings you money, but at what cost? It could be an asset, to be honest. Let's put it an asset because it brings money in. Fair enough. Let's leave it at that. But the key is you want to generate an asset, something which gets you money. Yes. Are we together so far? I put my lovely picture there. So yeah. So an asset is something which brings you money. So if you're in business, try and acquire assets. Get assets. Make sure the money coming in is more than the money going out. Make sure the money coming in is more than the money going out. Are you with me? And that is an asset. So those are the key terms. There are much more terms you got to learn. But you know, I said plan asset, liability, balance sheet, and equity. Land those four, and the rest you can add on. Balance sheet shows your assets and your liabilities. For you, even as an individual, when you work end of the month, what is your balance sheet? Where's your money coming in? Where's your money going out? I urge you to have one as individual, as a business, so you know where your money is going and where it's coming in. So if you have like one job or 2-3 jobs, or you got a side hustle, every month write down how much money you earn from those and how much money you get out. Your expenditures could be transport, could be food, it could be buying clothes. So all those are liabilities. So you put them down so you know where your money is going. Yes. So if you treat yourself as a business, you can also learn how your money is going in. It's called due diligence, isn't it? It's great, isn't it? So those are the key terms of finance, according to Investopedia. But today we're talking about types of financing. So if you look in Google, we have venture capital. This is a form of private equity financing that is provided by firms or funds to startups, early stage and emerging companies that have been deemed to have high growth potential or which have demonstrated high growth. So those startups which are beginning, and some have been caught early, and those emerging companies that have been deemed to have high growth, they now get venture capital. It's a form of private equity financing. You've got angel investors. So an angel investor is typically a high net worth individual who lends funds in exchange for an ownership stake in the company. Someone who lends you who's a high net worth individual, but lends you funds in exchange for an ownership stake in the company. I'm guessing this is like the Dragon's Den or Shark Tank in America, similar to that, if not one of those. Yeah, so that is an angel investor. You got it there? So that's an angel investor, yeah? We've got a term loan. The long-term business loans, that is really the same as a medium-term business loan, but over longer term. So equity crowdfunding. This is the online offering of private company securities to a group of people for investment, and thereby it is a part of the capital markets. That is equity crowdfunding. Invoice financing is a form of borrowing where a business borrows against its outstanding customer invoices. So it involves treating your invoices like assets. So if a customer owes you money or a supplier owes you money, then you can borrow against the money they owe you. And that's what we call invoicing. So invoice discounting allows businesses to borrow against the value of their outstanding invoices, enabling them to access funds that would otherwise be tied up. Invoice financing allows a business to use its invoices and accounts receivable as securities for funding. Here. One second. Give me a minute here. So invoicing, if you got some goods, customers who owe you money, or you've got a investor who owes you money, you can use that invoice as an asset. Bank loans, bank loans, those are the most common ones. Borrow money from a bank, you gotta, give them the information they need, and then if they deem you well, then you're good to go. Credit lines. This is a flexible form of finance for businesses rather than applying for a fixed sum of money. So these are funds that are available to use when needed. Peer-to-peer lending, crowd-funded loan, present family, those are credit lines. We know this one, don't we? When we're family and friends, that's normal. A grant is a fund given by a person or organization, often a public body, charitable foundation, or a specialized grant-making institution, or in some cases a business with a corporate social responsibility. So grants are given by, normally it's a public body. But you apply, like if you're not for profit, you apply for grants for a project, and they can sometimes give you a grant if you meet the criteria. Equity financing. This involves selling a portion of the business's ownership to investors in exchange for capital. It is a long-term financing solution. Equity financing is a type of financing where money is raised in exchange for shares in a company. It is a way of raising capital without having to take out a loan, I'm guessing. So equity financing is when you sell a portion of the business's ownership to investors in exchange for capital. Microfinance. Microfinance or microcredit is a collection of services that aid people who can't use traditional banking or other finance methods. Incubators and accelerators. This one is saying it's an development schemes to build and boost small businesses. So basically like grants or funds which don't have to be paid back. So more like a funding, isn't it, I'm guessing. Overdrafts. Overdrafts or bank overdrafts are another short-term financing option commonly utilized by businesses. Yep, so you know what overdraft is. So an overdraft essentially increases the money available to you. All right. Pre-sales. The customers pay before an item is generally available for purchase. This can include rewards-based crowdfunding and much more. So if you've got a product and it's going to be launched on one day, people can pay you before it's launched so they can have it. And that money you can use it as financing. So pre-sales, selling before the date of when it's released. Yep. That's another way of getting money. You can sell your idea or product before it's there, but be careful, don't be scammed though. Yes, you can sell it before, or you can before its launch date, people can buy, and then when it's ready to be launched, you launch it, but they've already paid you for the product. private equity. It's similar to venture capital. So this involves selling part of the businesses, typically to a private equity fund. Yes, but typically it's to a private equity fund rather than to the public. That's private equity. Trade credit. One of the most common forms of short-term financing is trade credit. It involves purchasing goods or services from suppliers on credit. So this way your supplier offers you 30 or more days to pay them. Trade credit. Corporate finance. This is business exclusive economic activity. This includes activities like budgeting, capital, financing products. So this, something that business obtaining financing through a variety of means, ranging from equity investments to credit arrangements. So anything which is dealing with business is corporate, isn't it? So we got it could be pre-sales, it could be equity, it could be credit lines, it could be private equity. All those are part of the business. Any business obtaining financing through a variety of means. Here, we to give us a form. Hire purchase. The credit a bit. Like leasing, hire purchased items don't belong to you until the final installment is paid, but you have the right to use it. So you get a product where you pay installments, but you have a right to use it while you are still paying installments for that. So that's a way of financing as well. Personal finance, I'm sure that's explainable, self-explanatory, isn't it? Use your own money or your own finance to fund or whatever you want to use it for. Could be capital, finance. IPO, so initial public offering. This is a stock launch as a public offering in which shares of a company are sold to institutional investors and usually also to retail investors. An IPO is typically underwritten by one or more investment banks who also arrange for the shares to be listed on one or more stock exchanges. So before we had these IPOs coming up in America, many companies were coming up, and you can hear them, especially in crypto. Oh, IPO, this was coming up. There were many at the time. There were a number of IPOs out. So it's a stock launch. This is a public offering in which shares of a company are sold to institutional investors and usually also to retail investors. Then we got merchant cash advance. This is another way of a business which can borrow a lump sum of money. So this option uses the sales taken by your card payment machine to release a sum of money to you in advance of future receipts. Yes. Mezzanine financing. It's a hybrid form of financing that combines elements of both debt and equity. So you can get business financing by taking on debt, like small business loans from traditional banks and online alternative lenders, or by offering investors. Public finance. The federal government helps prevent market failure by overseeing the allocation of resources, distribution of income, and stabilization of the rates, etc. So this is the governmental level of financial activity, but manages state, providence, and country governments. That's public finance. Public finance includes taxing, spending, budgeting, and debt issuance policies that affect how government pays for services it provides to the public. So there you are. Those are some ways of finance that you can use for your business. If you're looking for money or ideas to run your business, you haven't got the money, get a loan, you can get a grant, you can use hire purchase, you can use trade credit, overdrafts. So there's much more ways. So don't get stuck. Find a way to start. Let's try the video now. Hope you enjoy.
It took $10,000 to launch my apparel line, Ghost and Stars. I don't know about you, but when I was just starting out, I didn't have that kind of cash just lying around. Enthusiasm and super soft cat sweaters are great, but they just don't pay the bills, you know? I needed to save up money through my other side hustles, or I needed an investor, someone who believed in me and my idea enough to give me money in exchange for potentially more money in the future. And if I hadn't been brave enough, I wouldn't get to put my designs out into the world for people to enjoy. But now, it's your turn. So let's find the right investor for you, because each has its pluses and minuses, and it's time to fund your dreams. I'm Anna Akana, and this is Crash Course Business Entrepreneurship. This episode is near the end of the series, but entrepreneurship is not a linear journey. You might need funding to accomplish any of the steps to build a business, not just when you're ready to take a product or service to market. Some people look for money for their minimum viable product. Some market their product or service once everything is set up. And if you believe Silicon Valley legends, a few people get funding with just an idea. But where exactly should we look? Start with the 3 F's: friends, families, and fools. And calling them fools sounds kind of mean, but we're not trying to trick anyone. This is just part of the quirky entrepreneurial jargon. These people are often the first stop for an entrepreneur because they believe in us the most with the least amount of evidence. According to the crowdfunding site Fundable, the 3 F's invested $60 billion. That's 3 times as much as angel investors in budding entrepreneurs in 2014. That's right, billion. With a B. More seasoned investment pros like banks or venture capitalists will get bogged down with proof of concept, financial performance, or needing it to be more than a stick figure sketch on a notepad. Ugh. But the 3 F's are more likely to be Team Us. A lot of this early stage money is in small amounts to help create a prototype, get design software, or travel to meet with a prospective partner. These moves can open a lot of doors, but they might not interest professional investors. The disadvantage of asking everyone you know for money is that you might fail, and then you've brought someone close down with you. If you take this path, be honest about the risks involved, and don't ask for more than someone could afford to lose. The main advantage is that you typically get to keep ownership of your company, and your success is their success too. And if grandma does drive a hard bargain, at least the business is in the family. Let's go to the thought bubble to see how we might actually make a funding ask. Ryan has so many books that he started storing them in plastic tubs. His taste is renowned. His online review blog has a pretty big following, and all of his friends are asking for recommendations. Ryan also loves to travel. So to combine his loves, he's struck with inspiration to start Library on the Loose. Basically a food truck, but for books. He knows he can use his massive collection as inventory, and he can probably work with a local bookstore to sell some of their new titles. But buying a truck would be too expensive for him right now, so he wonders whether some close friends would help. Ryan is super nervous, so he's going to use 4 tips that entrepreneurs recommend. 1. Ask for a specific amount of money for a specific goal. 2. Let people see your investment and commitment. 3. Communicate the plan and identify risks up front. And 4. Talk with an attorney to structure the deal. So Ryan combs through the internet and finds the perfect truck, a 2006 Freightliner step van for $15,000. So he's going to use 4 tips that entrepreneurs recommend. 1. Ask for a specific amount of money for a specific goal. 2. Let people see your investment and commitment. 3. Communicate the plan and identify risks up front. And 4. Talk with an attorney to structure the deal.
So you see, if you type in YouTube, there's a lot more you can find for finance. How to make money with debt. That's one way you can do that for years. So debt financing, that's equity financing. That's the good thing about YouTube. You can find videos on everything. There's Cody Sanchez. Want to follow her for business tips? She's very good. Multi-millionaire lady. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so types of financing is there. Look at the top selections. You have equity versus debt financing. Types of business financing I must know. Types of debt you can use for financing. Different types of loans. It shows here. 11 ways to finance your growth are sponsored. What types of financing solutions are there for businesses? You have different types of financial institutions and much more. If you go on Google as well, I've talked about many loans you can use. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 23. Or some mixed them together, but roughly 20 different types of financing you can use for your business. Look for an idea. You've got venture capital, angel investors, you got loans, equity, you got invoice financing, as in family, you got grant, credit lines, equity financing, that's a bit funding, the private equity again, corporate finance again, personal finance again, IPO, public finance. This line is when it's a hybrid. So a lot of options for you there for those who are trying to start a business. So think about the one that's best for you. And remember, the key terms is asset brings money in, liability takes money out, balance sheet. One side for assets, liabilities, so you can know cash flow, movement of money into and out of your business or even your account as your cash flow. Equity is what's left over when you take away liability. So assets equals liability plus equity. So what money is left in the business for you to use the equity. Yes, this profit is the money left over after your expenses. That's the profit you get. Yes, and that's the profit you have. Those are the key finance terms. And remember, finance is about the management, creation, and study of money and investments, which involves the use of credit and debt, securities, and investments to finance your current projects using future income flows. So look, you're looking for money, find a way. It's better you try. It is scary. You can't be afraid. I won't lie. I wanted to try sometimes, but I thought, oh, give him how will I get it, what I want. But it's good to try, so at least you give it a go and say, overcome the fear. If you don't have knowledge, get one, read on it, then know what you're going to do. As I just said, there are 4 plans. Ask for specific money, an exact amount for a specific goal. You got to show the risks and anything coming at you might be a problem. Communicate as well, and much more. So if you have a specific goal, ask for the amount and quantify why you need that amount of money for that goal and how it relates to the goal. And then see if someone can lend you money. If they could grant for this, tell them I want this money for this and this and this, how much, these are the drawbacks, this is what might happen. And it's kind of cash or debt or credit installments, know how you pay them back and much more. Yes, so finance is there, but you want to get the cash flowing in and out. So I'm going to leave it there. It's a quick video, but definitely check out your Google for more. There's a lot more you can learn from financing. So you don't get stuck and say, I don't know. You try. It's better you get rejected or at least you tried. But try again and find another way. Friends, families. You can do pre-sales. You can do grants. You can do equity. If you haven't got a business, you can do personal finance. You've got personal finance, you can use pre-sales. Go a fund, get a grant. Sell online, do an affiliate that can give you money to start a business or to pay your bills. So there are many ways that you can finance yourself. Remember, you are a business as well. But that's it. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. That's it from me. And I'll see you next time. So thank you very much for tuning in tonight. I hope you had a great show tonight about money, finance, why we need to get our finances in order. Pay our debts, get our incomes coming in, where's our money going, how much are we keeping at the end, how much money do we have to invest, how much are we saving, how much are we investing, how much are we spending, how much are we creating or managing. Yes, thank you very much for tuning in, and hope you have a lovely day. Remember, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow my page, and definitely subscribe, and see you again another time. Take care, and remember, learn to manage your finances. It's important that you learn about finance, so learn about your monies. Remember to learn about finance, about the money you create and manage, because it's important for you to know that. Have a great night wherever you're watching from. It's just about 9:15 here, and take care. Peace.